You ever ask yourself why most people fail their diets? A lot of it comes from extremes. Huge diet restrictions, following some sort of fad diet that tells you to, eliminate food groups, having these specific rigid rules, things that are not really individual to yourself. Many of us go too extreme to the point of severe discomfort, and we actually fail rather quickly as a result. Some of us might see initial weight loss for the first couple of weeks, and then what happens is we fail after like 5 weeks or so. It happens to every one of us. Have you ever asked yourself why we fail? And how could we commit to something long term? A lot of it is a commitment to a lifestyle change. And if you have to go to extremes on your diet, chances are the diet is not good for you. So in this video, I wanted to go over 5 nutrition principles that I follow for success. And if you could follow these mindset wise, you're going to see some great results. So with that being said, let's get into it. Number one, nutrition is mostly mindset. It goes beyond just what we eat. It's a culmination of our attitude, our belief system, and our behaviors towards food. If you have a mindset around nutrition that's a focus on sustainability, making healthy choices from time to time, having some sort of flexibility, some sort of indulgence, you're going to have more success than rigid rules. We have to shift our focus from restrictive diets to something more of a flexible approach. And I really like the aspect of flexible dieting, where it's like an 80-20 rule of the sort. And this is something I'm going to go over shortly. Nutrition should be pursued essentially as a journey. It's a process of you becoming someone new. And if you're on this fitness for mental health journey, you chose to have an identity change. You decided you wanted to change your identity and what you believe because you're not happy with how you look, how you feel. You're dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with some dark thoughts of taking your own life. I've been there, and a commitment to the mindset of making small steps to change our lifestyle as a whole will bring you about the best kind of success. And one nutrition tip I can give you in regards to that, as I mentioned, is any diet that tells you to eliminate a food group should be avoided. Like, avoid it completely. Don't even focus on it. Think about nutrition on a continuum. Ask yourself, what's good, what's better, what's best? What should I have less of? What should I have in moderation of? Or what should I have more of? If you're drinking things like soda, and perfect example, I mentioned this before, one of my buddies asked me for weight loss tips, and he was drinking 2 liters of Coke every single day. Perfect weight loss tip for that, in that case, based on his circumstances at that moment in time, was to change the regular Coke into a diet soda. It was that simple. Or instead of having the 2 liters of Coke every single day, have a 1 liter of Coke every single day. You're going to see results from that. And then over time, you're going to bring it downwards. Where you're at in your current state, you need to make an adjustment where there's some slight discomfort, but not discomfort to the point where it's so extreme that you can't stick to the diet or the lifestyle change in the long term. Small steps move mountains, guys. It all starts from there. I was having milkshakes, Big Macs, McFlurries, the whole shebang, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to change some of my meals to have more chicken, grilled chicken, and things like that. And that's where the weight initially came off. And that's where I had my most success because I allowed some flexibility. I started going towards these rigid rules that I saw on the internet. And then what happened was it was hard for me to stick to it. So I decided, you know what, add some flexibility. And here I am today, 13 years later. I could tell you from personal results that for me, if I wanted to gain weight, I know what to do by adding a little bit more to my current lifestyle. If I wanted to lose weight and get a little bit more shredded, let's say, for example, I'm going to be competing in a jiu-jitsu competition in a couple months. What if I can just take out some things to lose a couple weights to hit that weight class? Like, I can do this on the fly. I just have to make slight adjustments to my lifestyle. I don't need to make extreme lifestyle adjustments, just little things here and there. And that's how you should follow nutrition. Mindset approach, small steps move mountains. Number two, I mentioned 80-20 rule, flexible dieting. Follow a flexible dieting approach where you have indulgence in moderation. Living in the United States, there's a lot of options and it can be overwhelming. If you simplify it like this, 80% of the foods that I eat are whole foods, 20% processed or somewhat processed. You're going to eat more nutrient dense foods most of the time. You're going to opt for things like grilled chicken, fish, things like rice, things like beans, etc. You can go to like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Waba Grill, Rubio's, things like that. If you're going fast food options, and then in restaurants too, you can eat grilled chicken and things like that. It's essentially finding the right balance. You want to balance everything out. If you eat something that goes off plan, your plan's not failed. You are basically in this mindset, you are allowing for that right? In case something like that happens. Because if you're on an extreme approach or or nothing approach, which we'll talk about in a second as well, is like if you make a mistake, you're going to be like, screw it, I failed the diet, which is not necessarily true. So follow the approach of flexible dieting. 80% of whole foods will help you mentally because nutrient dense foods bring you the right nutrients, give you the right energy. 20% of your foods should be indulgent foods if you want, right? If you're craving some sort of cookie or ice cream or things like that, put it in your plan. There's nothing wrong with that. I follow that. I have no issues with my diet whatsoever because I allow for that flexibility. One nutrition tip I can give you in that regard is to make sure you prioritize your protein intake. Make sure protein is like priority number one, just because it helps with the fullness. It helps with you being satisfied. If you get enough protein in your diet with exercise and things like that, it'll help you on your journey overall with a lot of hormonal things, with fatigue and so on. So opt for grilled chicken at restaurants from time to time. If you want some red meat, that's okay. Just opt for that. Keep it flexible, guys. Number three is get rid of the all or nothing approach. If you are binary thinking, yes or no, good or bad, you're not going to succeed in nutrition. That's just how it is. Do not do that. Do not follow that lifestyle. Some people follow that lifestyle and it can help them for a time, but the one thing that they may have issues with is long term. What happens after the diet? Can you adhere to this lifestyle after your diet? If not, the diet sucks. So if you can kind of incorporate this lifestyle where it's like it's operated on a continuum, better option, best option, what I need more of, what I need to indulge less of, what adjustments I have to make here, what adjustments I have to make there, you're going to have more success, because flexibility is everything, guys. If you're in a new area, let's say you don't have access to your meal prep services because you're out of state, well, opt for healthier options as best as you possibly can. Minimize the super indulgent foods and prioritize the 80%, the whole foods. There's always an option of eating a little bit healthier wherever you are based on your circumstances. If you want some indulgent foods from time to time, that's okay too. Focus on the nutrient dense foods majority of the time. Number four, your environment leads to success. Your environment plays a large role on your relationship with nutrition. It ultimately determines success or failure. Creating an environment that supports healthy eating is a game changer. It's the thing that people don't think about, but really has a large impact on us. If I had a box of cookies right here sitting next to me, no matter how much willpower I have, eventually I'm going to eat a cookie. So what we have to do is modify our environment to support our goals. So instead of having, so many indulgent foods in our house that if we eat one, we end up eating 12, why don't we have some indulgent foods from time to time? If you have a craving for ice cream, you take a scoop a day of ice cream, right? And you still follow your nutrition goals. You're going to see a lot more weight loss progress in that process than, you eat one scoop and you're like, okay, I'll eat the whole entire thing. My diet's done. I failed. A piece of shit for failing. I'm going to stop my diet completely, etc. Perfect example is my buddy Chris. My buddy Chris is like, all right, I'm going to have a cookie at each night. That's his reward. If you could do that and you see weight loss progress from that, follow that, because you're going to eat majority of whole foods and then you allow for that one cookie a night. You're going to have more success in that if you can keep your environment like that. If not, if you eat that Oreo cookie, I know for myself, if I eat an Oreo cookie, I'm going to eat 12 of them. I have to get that out of the household and have another indulgent food. Chocolate chip cookies, I can eat one a day if I wanted to as well. I won't have those sugar high cravings where I'll go and eat 12 of them. I can eat a cookie a day and I'll be fine. And it's like, figure things out like that will help you on your journey, that will help you stay motivated and stay driven to succeed in your journey. Like I mentioned with everything that we talked about, if you need to indulge from time to time, that's okay. If you keep 80% of your foods being foods that you can eat consistently, that are nutrient dense, that are low calorie, that are healthy, it's going to be a lot easier for you to stay with the diet compared to having 80% of those being the processed foods that you could buy at grocery chains. If you're somebody that just has trouble with that in general, maybe you need to buy a single pack every week or so. Once a week, you're like, you know what? I'm going to drive to the grocery store and get my reward and eat that and savor that, enjoy that, so I can get back onto routine and attack. It's all dependent on your lifestyle. It's all dependent on what you see is going to drive you the most success. So I say, environment leads to success. Make sure your environment supports the goals that you desire. And a nutrition tip for that is, if you need accountability, we have our Depression Slayers Discord group. You can join in the link in the description below. We will essentially help you on your journey as well. Last one, make a mistake, get right back on track. This is full circle, everything we talked about. Mistakes happen even on your journey in nutrition. The key to success is how we respond to those mistakes, right? If you make a mistake, just get right back on track. think of nutrition as a sum of all parts, right? If you made a mistake with one meal, get back on track and have a healthier meal the next meal. If you made a mistake the entire day, get back on track the next day. Don't ruminate over it. Don't be pissed off about it because you made that mistake. There's always a way to get back on track. And if you made the mistake with one snack, one indulgent snack, who cares? That's the sum of all parts, right? It's a culmination of all the daily actions you do on a day-to-day basis. If 80% of the time you're on point, you're going to see some results from that 80% of the time of being on point. I just had some cookies yesterday, guys. My 13 years of fitness, I made so many mistakes in my nutrition, or I gave into so many indulgent foods. What I did was, in response, got back on track. Persistence is the key to success. If you make a mistake, jump right back on track. Ultimately, the best diet is the one that works best for you guys. With nutrition, one size does not fit all, and each of us has our unique preferences and things like that. If we hate a certain food, there's always another food option we can utilize to eat as nutritiously as possible. Pay attention to, if I eat this protein, how does it make me feel throughout the day? Or if I eat these healthy fats rather than the trans fats or the saturated fats, how does that make me feel? Experiment with what works best for you. And nutrition is not about following strict rules. It's about finding a sustainable approach to eating that supports your overall health and well-being. Now, with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, throw in the comments below. I'm here to help you guys out on your journey. No question is a stupid question. And if you follow these principles, I guarantee you're going to see better results than what you've seen following, some sort of fad diet. And it's going to be long-term, and you're going to keep it off. And if you need help with that, like I said, we have our Discord group. Join in the description below. I'd love to help you on your journey. I give out a ton of free shit, so please come in here. We'd love to help you out here. Much love to you all. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Depression Slayers, thanks for watching this video. I handpicked some videos off to the side for you guys that you can listen to and enjoy. And in addition to that, if you like what we're offering here at the Depression Slayers, where we help you exercise out of depression, hit that subscribe button right there. Much love to you all. Talk soon. Take care.